Welcome back, everybody. My name is Noah, and you're watching Robin Sawmill and Outdoors. Have you, as a beginner sawer or hobby sawmill operator, got to the point to where you just sawing for no reason? Don't do that. So here are some tips from a very much so hobby sawmill operator. I've had my mill, Woodland Mills HM 126, for a little over 2 years, 2.5 years, and I don't know how many hours on it. The hour meter never really worked. But when I first started sawing, I was pretty much sawing whatever I wanted to saw. I had some logs. I was like, well, let me do some 1-bys, let me do some 2-bys, let me do some slabs. And I ended up sitting on them, not being able to use them. And some of them I actually got rotten because I did not store them correctly. Just laying on the ground. I ended up going into a burn pit. But recently I've been watching some other videos, and it's great to have inventory. In my opinion, I think it's better if you don't have orders, have some inventory that in your area will sell. Like, obviously fence boards, always good. This time of year I cut a lot of tomato steaks, and every time I have them available they sell. But I have not been able to sell just about anything else, just sitting around. I've tried to sell some white oak boards, some red oak boards. Now if I discount them pretty severely, they will sell pretty easy, but I don't want to cut myself short. So what I started doing is cutting what you need. Cut what you need. So as a project, we live on a little farm, 15 acres in South Central Virginia. Recently built a house, but I don't have a garage. I only have one storage shed. I don't have a basement. We built a barn dominium, and I need storage shed. So I started looking around, shopping around for a storage building. I would like a 12 by 24 or a little bit bigger, and $7,000 or $8,000 is the cheapest I could find. So I started thinking to myself, why would I spend, after taxes, $8,000-$9,000 for a storage shed that I can build myself? I built my own house. How hard can it be? So this is what I started doing. As you guys have seen in the past, I've got quite a few white pine logs, and what I started with, cutting some board and batten siding. So these are between 7 and 9. I think the smallest one is 7 inches down there at the bottom. Board and batten siding. I want to build again 12 by 24 shed that will cost me as little as possible. So I have this pile cut, and I have, I think, 3, maybe 4 more logs that I can use for board siding. Then I need to cut some batten strips. If that is not enough, I will start using poplar. I don't want to use pine because I don't have a lot of pine, and I actually want to use that for the construction material. So my 2-bys, like the 2x4s, I will cut out of pine. The rest of the siding will be poplar. The structural materials, like the foundation that goes underneath the shed, I will use red oak. I know it's not the best, but it will not be sitting on the ground. And I have plenty of red oak and poplar available. I mean plenty. When I say plenty, I'm to the point to where I'm getting ready to start selling some to the sawmills. So with that being said, why would I pay $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for a shed? Granted, I can have it delivered and set up within a couple of weeks, very minimum effort. But who has, that kind of money to spend on a storage shed? I was calculating the only thing I would need to buy, obviously the hardware, I have a nail gun, so I'll just get some nails. A box of nails I think around here is about $35, $40. I say a box, the box of sleeves for the nail gun. And you always need 3-inch screws, so I will get some structural screws like the 3-inch, maybe some 4-inch screws. You got to have that, so some of those just in case. Obviously you need the floor. I don't want to use the floor out of my wood. If I had enough that's been cut for about a year and halfway dried, and I could put a tongue and groove in it, just you do it like a tongue and groove floor, I would, but I don't have a tongue and groove machine. I think my little router is probably not going to do very well, and it's not going to be even because I don't want to spend the time planing. So what I'm going to do is I will buy an Advantech subfloor. It's very resistant to moisture, and it will be flat, tongue and groove, easy, 4-foot by 8-foot sheets. Just lay them down, nail them, and you're good to go. Right, so the structural materials, the 2x4s, the 2x6s, the 2x8s, whatever else I need, I will mill. Windows, I'm going to try to buy possibly maybe 2 windows, so $200 for the windows. Let's say $100 for screws and nails, so that's $300. Advantech floor, subfloor is $45, let's say $50 a sheet, and I would need 9, is that correct? Let's see, 8, 16, 24, 3 times, yeah, 9 of those, so it's another $450. And I will use, I'm going to buy 10 for the roof. I could saw my own like a roofing shingles type of stuff, but that's a lot of work. I don't have the attachments. I have to build a jig. 10 is not very expensive. It's less than $3 a linear foot. And I'm thinking if I buy the windows, I'm looking at $1,200 to $1,500 out of pocket, and the shed will be done. I think I can do it in a couple of weekends. It does not have to be perfect. Board and batten siding, slap it on, wash it, let it dry a little bit, then just take a spray paint and paint everything. So why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you my plans as to, what I'm going to build? I will record that once I'm ready for it. I need to clear some land first. But the whole reason behind this is know what you're cutting. Know what you're cutting. Otherwise, you're going to end up like me. Let me show you. I've got stuff that I cut here, some here. I've got a cedar and walnut here. White oak slabs right here. I mean, I can't do anything with them. Nobody wants them. And I have a ton, well, to me it's a ton, of white oak boards, a couple cedar slabs, which I will use myself, some red oak boards right here. Some of them are pretty useless. And I have another pile by the house of red oak boards. What am I going to use it for? I don't know yet. I do not know. So the white oak boards, I think I'm going to build a fence right here somewhere, and I would just use the white oak boards instead of buying boards. There's no point in buying. Oh, sorry, get the sun out of your face. There's no point in buying fence boards when I can cut them myself. I've got plenty of white oak to cut. I just have to harvest it, obviously. But the whole reason, like I said, I was saying this: know what you're cutting. Have a plan. I'll be right up front with you. I never have a plan. I never follow a plan. I'm more of a wing it type of guy. So what I'm going to do is I want to finish up this white pine, this board and batten siding, so you can start drying, so it can start shrinking, so my siding will be done. Next I'm going to put on the mill is probably a couple pine logs. Go ahead and mill me some 2x4s, and I don't have long enough pine logs to build my 2x6s for my purlins or for my roof. I'm gonna make just an angle, like a lean-to style roof, so I don't have to build the trusses and all that. I figured I'd mill 16 foot or maybe 14 foot, just running the whole length. It'll be a lot easier. It'll work just fine for me. I'll mill that out of poplar probably, and then I'll start milling some red oak into 2x6s for the floor frame, pretty much, I would say, and go with that. I'm kind of backwards. Instead of milling bottom up, I'm milling top down. But I want to mill this pine before it starts rotting, before it gets too hot and the beetles and whatnot, whatever eats pine, gets into it. Anyway, guys, the key takeaway: know what you're cutting and cut what you need. If you know what sells in your area, cut that, have the inventory. My biggest problem with inventory is as soon as I cut something that's 8 foot long, somebody wants a 10 foot, 12 foot, 16 foot. So I pretty much stopped cutting something like that. But I know, I mean, if I have pine, an abundance of pine, I'd go ahead and cut 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s, pretty much any 2x material. If you are cheaper than a box store, it will sell. But I don't have that capability right now because I don't have the pine surplus of logs. I have very little, and I'm going to use it for myself. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one.